Hi guys, welcome back to the paradox of losing cycle. This is going to be just a discussion around in general, after we created approximately about so far I believe 12 or 13 videos on the mathematics of the losing cycle. So we started from overall understanding of how this gambling addiction gets developed and what's going on while you are gambling, and what's the mathematics behind the losing cycle itself, like what gets you going, and how does your cash flow deplete over time through the incremental basis, and it just becomes a cumulative effect that goes into a ruin without you even noticing. So let's talk about in general what really kind of like, why do people get into it? Why even the gambling doesn't discriminate between the poor or the rich. It affects equally the same as the rich and the poor. So it's nothing to do with, I'm poor, I need some cash, therefore I'm going to go in the casino so that I can create some instant cash. It doesn't work like that. And the poor basically has the same phenomena or behavior just like the rich. So there are many rich have gone bankrupted and lost all their money in gambling. There are some big names. I don't want to mention those names. You can find them on YouTube, like how one person just lost over $300 million in 1 week in Las Vegas. So it keeps you wondering, like, how did that happen? I mean, he was a businessman, a very successful businessman. He had a very successful business running his entire life. He was not married. He didn't have any children. After the age of approximately 45 or 50, I believe, he encountered, or he came across, gambling through betting on tables, like I think blackjack, I believe, was his favorite game, and baccarat. The guy, he sold his businesses, and then he took all the money to Las Vegas and bet them all on gambling, and that's it. So he lost them all, and then on top of that, he increased his debt level. So basically his debt went up, and he started borrowing money for health reasons. So that's a pathetic way of ending. So our objective in this channel is that we don't want to end like that. We don't want to go and take that route. We don't want to go end up losing it all and going into debt and health destruction and all of this. It's not worth it. So let's then recap on a lot of things that we talked about. So during the course of my experience in gambling, right? So basically, I myself started when I was 19 years old, when I was in Richmond, Virginia. And when I first encountered gambling is on New Year's Eve. We took a road trip to, with a family of a friend of mine in Fairfax, Virginia. We decided to hit the road to Atlantic City, and there we came to Taj Mahal. It was a fair new casino by Trump. It was amazing casino, and it was just mesmerizing, with the facade and with the decoration, with the music, with the events and shows, and all the sounds of the slot machine, and people, smoking and screaming and winning, and the whole atmosphere was geared towards enhancing your dopamine level. So we'll get to that a bit later. So um, now, I've watched many videos on YouTube, and I believe all the videos that related to losing in gambling has the same pattern, same phenomena. It's that how they started and how they got addicted, and how what kept them going, and how they lost it all, and how they're trying to quit. So basically, this cycle is very predictive. It's just not predictive for the beginners, like people who just started gambling, and then or people who are stuck in gambling for some reason. It's just not visible for them. The problem and how to create a solution. So back to my experience. So I went to Atlantic City, and we started. A friend of mine was experienced in blackjack. At that time, I didn't know nothing about gambling. So basically, he borrowed. He didn't borrow money, but we decided to combine our capital. So I let him play with my share of $150. So we combined the capital of $300. So my friend was, he claimed that he was experienced blackjack player. So basically, he started playing. And I was looking at him, he was panicking all the way, and he was like praying to God, like, please, I want to win this. So, oh no, I'm going to lose. Oh no, please. So when I was looking around, there were rich guys and poor guys on the table of the blackjack. So there were some intelligent person that he was trying to calculate, and the other guy was wearing some kind of gold chain and diamond watch, and the other guy was. Apparently, they all looked like sitting on the same table, and they were enjoying being together. So it's like a club, okay? I mean, a gambling environment. It's like, all kinds of people with mental problems, people with a lot of money, people with no money, people with high debt, people with all sort of people. They communicate together for some reason. They are happy together. They are like, it creates an atmosphere of, they're in a trap together, and they are enjoying the trap, and they are just talking crap. So basically, one guy say, hey, yeah, well, that's life. I lost this much. Well, well, that's gambling. I mean, there's no high risk, high reward. I mean, if you can't. If you're not willing to lose, then you cannot win. And the other guy is laughing. This guy is like, hey, yeah, well, the other day I made so much money, then I lost it all. The other guy say, yeah, well, I hope that you're gonna get it back this time. So and the dealer is just watching and laughing. I mean, he was just smiling. Probably the dealer, heard this thing, over and over and over again. So anyhow, so the game ended up with a profit. And I pulled him out of the table, and I took my $300, and that's it. So that was the end of the game. And then we had dinner and came back to Richmond. So then after that, I started studying some books about blackjack, about counting cards, about advanced strategy and basic strategy and all of this. And then I thought I could become a professional gambler, And I thought that was a way to move forward. So basically, that was the first addiction. First, when I saw the win coming on the table, that's the dopamine effect, basically, that basically you're going to crave for more. So regardless if you are playing or you're not playing, you could have just watched a James Bond movie, or you could have watched a YouTube video, or you watched a friend winning. That's enough to hook you up. You're gonna get hooked immediately. It doesn't really got anything to do that with you winning or something else. So today there are so many stimulants around you that will make you to get into gambling. Okay, so just by watching my friend playing and winning made me to read books and create some kind of skill in order to repeat the same process. So in order to repeat the same win. So I took the shuttle. I went to Atlantic City after about maybe a month of practicing and reading books, and then started playing myself. there you go. That was the beginning of the journey. Okay. And then I stayed in Atlantic City about 2 days. In the beginning, I won, and that was the second curse. Okay, so basically, I repeated the trip. I don't want to say hundreds of times, but many, many times, and it became, my destination, or for whenever I had a spring break or I had a holidays from the school, from the college, and I had whenever I got a break, I used to just hit the road to Atlantic City. So during the course of this playing, I played blackjack, roulette, baccarat. I played slot machines. I played poker as well. So my experiences over the 30 years of my experience in this field. Luckily, I didn't go to bankruptcy, but but that's not really the point. The point is not. It's not like you're going to lose it all. But most of the people do. Most of the people that I know of, they lost it all. But in my case, I went through this high volatility, and because of my background in mathematics, in economics, I linked this betting system through some kind of mathematical modeling to understand exactly what is the win rate is, and what is the likelihood of winning and losing, and what's going on in terms of the odds. Is the odds really fair? Is it really random? All the games, is there any, what's the likelihood of winning? Can this be made consistently? Is it a consistent winning game, or is it a consistently losing game? So this is what I found out. So basically, my background, I'm an econometrician. It's called econometrics, which is modeling in economics, as well as mathematics. So and statistics, of course. So basically, a lot of my experience goes into the statistics, and in terms of the 50-50 distribution, in reality, in statistics, the odds of 50-50 is really over a long-term cycle. So it's not a, per, for 1 day or 2 days, okay? I mean, per event, any kind of random event does not really reveal 50-50 outcome. 50-50 outcome is over eternity. I mean, it can be over hundreds of years. You don't know, nobody knows. So this is where sometimes people get confused about the 50-50 chance. So when you are betting, it's really not 50-50. It's much less than 50-50 because the events are distributed, the random event is distributed over the course of the life cycle of, it could run around, nobody knows, it could be 100 years or 200 years, or it could be 10 years. So there is an unknown factor, which is the time. The time is always an unknown factor. So the probability distribution of 50-50 says that over the time frame, there is, the events has a tendency to create a bell curve, okay? And the bell curve, basically, most of the events is centered around in the middle as a mean result, or the average mean result. So basically, you have negative, mean, and then positive tails. So basically, it runs as a bell curve. Now, if you combine all the events under the bell curve, it comes to as a zero-sum game, meaning that the negative will be equaling the positive events, and then it's a zero-sum game as a natural course of distribution of the events. So the point is that during my course of this gambling, I never realized that it's a losing cycle. So basically, when I modeled this, after about maybe 20 years, to be honest, it didn't come across my mind to analyze this in depth in the first 5 years or the first 10 years for some reason. Maybe I wasn't smart enough, or maybe I was too much involved in gambling, and just the excitement of the game and the passion of the game just drove me all the way and wasted my time, okay? So after about maybe 20, or I would say 25 years, to be honest, I really decided to go into this analyzing the model of gambling. okay, to really see that, to convince me that is it really worth pursuing this game or not. So, and even the modeling event or analyzing period, it took me a while in order to convince myself. So that is just to tell you that how difficult it is to get out of it. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's very difficult to convince yourself. So basically, you're persuading yourself more that you can do it, because you're excited about the game. So you love to sit in the atmosphere of gambling and relax, and you don't mind spending a little bit, here and there, and then on gambling, and then feel good about it. But until the loss hits. When the loss hits, approximately 20-25%, when your cash flow starts dipping, then you start becoming aggressive. And then you go all in, and you're going to start, all the volatility will start, in terms of your game and cash flow, in order to, chase your losses, okay? So when you are winning, you are chasing the wins. When you are losing, you are chasing the losses. So equally, you are chasing the losses because incrementally you are losing over the down cycle, because you are declining over the losing cycle over time. So there is no way that you are consistently winning. So obviously you are riding the down curve, as I described in my videos. So basically it's just very hard for you to pull out yourself from this down cycle. You are involved, you're engaged, you're pissed off, you are on tilt, you are excited, you are in a roller coaster of a lot of volatility going on in the game, and it just excites you, okay? Because there's nothing else going on in your life. I mean, you are away from a lot of things. You're not even paying attention to your business. You're not paying attention to your family. You're not pursuing any goal other than this damn crap. Okay, you're not pursuing anything else in life because nothing is exciting you, and could be that you're hopeless, because you're not achieving your goals, and then you find gambling as the exciting field to be in, and that really kind of keeps you going. So, I mean, that's a trap. Okay, so you're kept in this trap for many years, and you're not able to get out just because you like it. You just love it. Okay, you don't mind because you know that the end result is ruined sometimes, honestly. So still, it keeps you going. So now, over the years, so when I modeled this mathematically, I knew that it's a down cycle. So, and then I got into the mathematics of betting in terms of calculating different systems and creating different systems in terms of how to win in the games of, let's say, baccarat or blackjack. So basically, I pursued that diligently and religiously. I went into different countries and played in different countries, and I've encountered different nationalities: Asians, North Americans, Europeans. I have came across people who are reckless and who are just bored in their life, and they are losing and they're happy to lose. And there are people who are very systematic. They are passionate about this, creating a system and testing the system and achieving results. And then coming into the casino as if it's for them it's coming to work. Okay. Just because they love their lifestyle in terms of enjoying, free food and drinks and hitting the table and all of this. So basically, there are so many different motivational factors that goes into this. But eventually, what happens is that the moment of truth comes. So after all of this, so basically you're young and you are. It could be that you're old too. I mean, I don't think there is an age factor, that really kind of matter here, because I've seen equal, number of, elderly person as well as young person as well as middle-aged. I've seen all kinds of age, all kinds of income distribution, income range, or I've seen it hits across the board. There is no demographic distinguishing. Say, okay, now this guy is gonna. No, all of them are affected equally with this disease. So now, what I notice over time, okay, that as you're in the game, it keeps you going until the moment of truth, until the reality strikes. Okay, now what is this? So basically, the moment of truth is when the amount of losses accumulate too much. So basically, what happens here is that, when you are gambling, you are riding a losing cycle, and the incremental losses over time, as a cumulative effect, is basically becomes enormous. Like, let's say over 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. If you keep gambling, basically, if you calculate that, what you have achieved in life, you realized you achieved nothing. You lost everything, even though if you have some cash left. So basically, you lost your goals, you lost your purpose in life, you lost your valuable time with family, you lost your productivity at work, you lost your like your relationship with your kid, with people, with friends, and nothing really mattered when you were gambling. So basically, over time, the loss becomes very heavy. Okay, this incremental loss is not just financial, but it's also moral, it's also ethical, it's also loss in life and health. So basically, everything goes down. So the magnitude of loss becomes much higher than magnitude of benefit. So whatever benefit that you valued during the course of gambling, such as having fun in the casino or having fun in the atmosphere or loving the atmosphere, at the end doesn't matter. At the end, everything goes away. Okay, it becomes just a memory that you enjoyed your time, you enjoyed your time while you were gambling, and that's about it, really. There's nothing else. And by the way, this is very powerful memory, because you always have a tendency to go back and enjoy that kind of moments in life. So this is what happens. So basically, eventually, your magnitude of loss becomes enormous, and then you realize that enough is enough. Another way of coming into a full stop is through, of course, going to a complete ruin. Why? Because when you are ruined, means that you are in debt, you have no money in the bank account, you have no source of income, and you have piled up all kinds of expenses, and you have no saving. So basically, what's going to happen here is that you have no way to gamble. So basically, you go under a depression, you go into a soul searching, and then you go into seeking medical help, and you might as well go into a mental issues, and you might seek medical assistance. So that's the kind of maybe 50-60% of the gamblers end up like that, and that's really a sad result to be honest. Okay, so that's one way of you quitting the game. Okay, another way could be that like if you are successful enough and you are you have a sound decision-making system in your brain, what you do is you do a self-exclusion from the casinos the moment you enter the casino. You do a self-exclusion from the online sites the moment you enter the site. Or you might have just played a bit and then you lost and you got pissed off, and then you decided to have a self-exclusion. You block yourself from all kinds of online sites. You block yourself from the casino, and also, most importantly, you block the access to your own fund. So basically, you talk to your bank, say that I want to put all this money in fixed deposits, and I don't want to break it for the next 2 years or 1 year or 3 years. So basically, you block the access to your fund, and that's the model that worked for me. So basically, the way I stopped gambling is that I stopped the access to my own fund. The way I did it is I put everything on the fixed deposit and told the bank I don't want to unlock it for the next 5 years. That's it. So I presume that the cash is dead. All right. And also I scratched the CVC number back of my credit card, and I canceled all the credit cards. I kept only one. And I scratched the CVC number behind the card so that you were not able to use it online for purchasing of crypto, because crypto is a big source of transfer of funds, from your bank account to nowadays you have a crypto casinos online, and it's very dangerous, by the way. It just, it's so easy to transfer, no monitoring, and there is no regulation, there is nothing. You just buy a crypto, and then you're in the gambling world. So yeah, so all of this is because of the credit card and the debit card. Online usage of the card or virtual cards, block them. Okay, you don't need them. It's more trouble than benefit. So I would say that just block it. Okay, so that's what I was successful in ending this disease through the solution of blocking the access to my own fund and self-exclusion from the online platform as well as from other casinos. So whenever I feel the crave, I immediately go there and give my password and say, please do not allow me to come into this casino ever again, otherwise I'm going to sue you. Okay, so you've got to threaten them so that you block yourself from entering the casino. That's what I did. Okay, now being proactive is the best solution to stop gambling. Now what happens is that what happened to me is that I gave myself a chance to think about it for a while. So once you are away from the surplus of cash, okay, and you're not able to access it, so what happens here is that you will have a big crave to go and gamble. I said, oh man, I need some cash to gamble. I mean, why did I block it? I mean, I could have just used maybe 10% of my surplus cash and then just go there, relax and enjoy the game. And then you keep trying with the bank, they will not allow you. You keep using the card. I said, oh shit, I cannot use the card because there's no CVC number behind it. I cannot use it online. And then if you want to transfer the money from your bank account to, let's say, to crypto wallet, what I did was, I threatened all the crypto wallets, sent them emails saying that, threatening them, cease and desist, legal notification, saying that do not allow me to buy crypto on your payment processing site. If you do that, I'm going to sue you. So that's, and then they all blocked me. Okay, so I'm not able to transfer. So whenever I get this crave to gamble again, I'm not able to use my card. I'm not able to use payment processing system. They all blocked me. I'm not able to transfer the money, first of all, from the bank to the casino because my funds are locked. So, all the access are locked. I mean, your brain will stop thinking automatically. Your brain will just say, hey, I give up. I'm not going to push you to gamble. I don't know what to do because you stop the access to the fund. Guys, that's the only way. So when you stop the access to your own fund, you just simply will stay out of trouble. Your brain will not constantly fool you around. The brain will give up. And after a while, you realize, thank God, I did it. Now I realize how fool I was. Okay, so that's the way to go. Now you know what is the best solution to quit. Stop the access to your funds and seek self-exclusion no matter what, the moment you enter. And you'll be fine. All right? So now I'm really passionate about this because I know this is what really worked for me, and I really wish that everyone does it so that you don't go into the ruin. I know some people, they have a hard time doing this. I don't know why. I mean, they say, no, I don't want to cancel the card or block the card, or I can control myself. No, you cannot control yourself. You just cannot. Once you're in the gambling box, okay, and this is paradox, you can control yourself. You really have to be proactive in stopping yourself by giving yourself a chance to think through and then come over this. It takes time. So while you have blocked your access to your funds, you are giving yourself a chance. About 1 or 2 months is enough, okay, for you to understand the whole thing and then stop gambling, and then you will be automatically out of it. Okay, so yeah, so that's a happy ending, and I hope that you guys will have the same approach to quitting gambling. I do have a lot of other topics to talk about. Maybe in my next video, I'm going to be talking about the odds itself, since I have a mathematical background. I will highlight on the mathematical arts, like the law of large number and the 50-50 game distribution and the cumulative effect mathematically, what's going on in the casino, what's going on in the gambling mathematics. So all the, I'll be basically try to unleash all these codes to you guys to understand exactly how the mathematics of the casino works. Okay, so until then, I'll see you guys in my next video, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and press the like buttons, and just to basically for me to know that you like the video and you'd like me to continue talking about this topic in depth, so that we keep on producing new videos. Cheers guys, see you later.